When is it time to drop an anime? Now, some people give it the 3-episode rule. Some people say, I will watch 3 episodes and then I'll drop it when they're first getting into a series. Some people want to drop a series when they're in the middle of it. Some people, there are several different points where people want to drop a series. It could be anywhere from the first episode, the halfway mark, whatever the case may be. And today I wanted to talk about dropping an anime and when I feel it's time to drop an anime, whether it be, in the middle of it, wherever the case may be. Now, as far as when you're starting an anime, I definitely say that don't force yourself. If an anime is making you feel as though it has become a chore rather than you're enjoying it, then that's definitely time to put it on the back burner, because at the end of the day, we watch anime for entertainment. We read manga for entertainment. And if you're going into it and you're pushing yourself and it's almost becoming like you're doing something that you don't want to do, then it's definitely time to put that bad boy down, especially if you just started it up, whether it be a 24-episode series, 12-episode series. If you're only on the first couple of episodes and you're really not enjoying it, then I see no point, regardless of what it may become later. At the end of the day, if you're in the first 2 or 3 episodes and you still aren't into it, then it's time to drop it. Or even if the first episode, like for example, I'll give you an example. I watched this season an anime called Hozuki no Reitetsu, and the first episode was just the most boring thing I've ever seen in my life. It was supposed to be a comedy, but I was bored out of my mind. I'm not going to watch another episode because I really just had no enjoyment whatsoever. I couldn't even tell you one thing about that first episode that was appealing enough to keep on going. So I'm not going to watch it anymore. That's not to say that there's other people. There's other people that are open-minded. Some people, they will feel as though, well, maybe I really hated episode 1, but I might like episode 2 and 3, so they'll give it a try. Me personally, episode 1, I absolutely didn't have anything in it that gave me enjoyment. So no, we're done right here. But there's different scenarios. Let's just take another example. Let's just say there's a 12-episode series and I'm 6 episodes in and I'm really not digging it right now. What do? Should you drop it? Should you, just say fuck it? Well, it depends on how much you're not enjoying it. If you're at episode 6 and you're just really feeling like it's just absolute dog shit, you can't take it anymore, then it's probably time to drop it if you're not enjoying it. However, if you feel as though you invested 6 episodes worth of time and it's like, damn, I feel bad, what should I do about dropping this? Put it on hold. You have the rest of your life to go back and watch that. And that's something as far as like when you invested your time in something, whether it be, let's just say you're halfway through the series, or whether it be your 300 chapters into a manga, whatever the case may be. I think that once you've invested a certain amount of time, you definitely want the payoff of finishing the story and seeing how it ends. And my personal opinion is that if you're not really enjoying the series at that point and it's really just gotten to a point where you really don't like it, don't necessarily drop it. Put it on hold, because at that point, you still have always the option, you're being open-minded about it. Well, maybe I'll come back to it at another time. Maybe I'll be in a different mood. Maybe I'll feel a little different about it when I come back. Maybe I'll miss it. So I definitely say that when you've invested a certain amount of time into a series, especially like, one of these long-running series, because I hear people here and there always coming out, like if they really didn't like the latest One Piece or Bleach or Naruto chapter, oh, I'm dropping this garbage, fuck this shit. So you invested like 500, 600, 700 chapters worth of your time, and you're going to throw that all away without getting the gratification of seeing how it ends because, you didn't like this chapter, you didn't like a handful of chapters or whatever. I think that would just be a really big waste of time. Now, I'm not saying that, of course, you got to keep on going just because you've spent that amount of time, but put it on hold, and then you come back to it when it finally ends, and you read through it and see how it ends. Time is a very precious and valuable thing, and I would hate to say, you know what, I read 100 chapters of this, but I absolutely can't stand it anymore. I'm completely dropping it. I'm never going to see how it ends. That would, for me personally, feel like I just wasted so much time doing absolutely nothing, because one of the things that I look forward to when I watch a series is definitely seeing how it all ends, how they wrap it up. Do they do a good job? What happens to the characters? What happens to the plot? There's so many things about seeing how a series ends. So when you invest that amount of time into it, regardless, again, if it may be 6 episodes out of a 12-episode series, 12 out of a 24-episode series, you want that gratification. So my personal opinion is that as far as when it's time to drop an anime, if you just started the series and you've only invested like 1 or 2 episodes worth of time and you really don't like it, then yeah, drop that bad boy. Or if you really, really feel like even putting 1 or 2 episodes worth of time is a lot of, time that you invested, then put it on the back burner. But when it comes to a long series or you've invested a decent amount of time into something, I always say it's better to put it on hold, even if it, got really bad at a certain point, because at the end of the day, you did invest that amount of time, and you always want to keep your options open, whether you want to go back to that. Maybe you want to see how it all ends. Maybe you heard some rumors of how it ended and you want to go back, but it's like, oh, fuck, I don't even remember anything. Oh, whatever, I already dropped that shit. I'm not going to go back on my word. So I definitely say that if you put a little bit amount of time in, maybe you could drop it. If you put in a lot amount of time in or a decent amount of time into it, then put it on hold and maybe keep the open mind up. You never know, you might want to go back. But what do you guys think about dropping an anime? When is it time for you personally to drop an anime? If you've invested 2 or 3 episodes of your time into an anime, do you think that that's the perfect time? If you're really not digging it, if you're 500 chapters into something and you just started disliking this series, do you think that it's time to drop it, or do you think like me that maybe better to put it on the back burner and come back to it at a later time? Maybe you'll feel a certain different way. And just your overall thoughts on dropping series. I'm not one that is a big fan of dropping series. I rarely do, regardless of how bad they are. I always just either put them on hold or I'll come back to them later at a different day. I'm never that into dropping a series unless like I just saw episode 1 and I'm really not feeling it, so there's no point of going any further. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up for anime that don't make you want to drop them, because there's a lot of anime that will make you want to drop them. Again, Hozuki no Reitetsu. I'll go no further. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.